Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Healing Soul Tarot. My name is Crystal, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who participated in the poll. Past life reading just edged out the starseed reading by a slim margin. I will do the starseed reading tomorrow night, though, just so that you guys know. And also tonight, I want to announce our first contest. You guys will have a chance to win a personalized reading from me. All you have to do is hit the like button and comment below "I'm in." Now, the winner will be randomly chosen. But yeah, we're going to do that tonight. So the contest is open as soon as this video is loaded, and I will let it run for, I think, 3 days. We'll let it run for 3 days, and then I'll pick the winners from those who have liked and commented below, if that makes sense. All right, so thank you to my current subscribers. If you're new, welcome. I like to do past life readings every once in a while. Just keep in mind, this may not be your reading. I can only pull on the loudest energy from the collective, and I only pull 3 cards. There's just no way I could pull more in one reading. It would just take too long. But I constantly do these past life readings, so just stay tuned, and you'll see if it resonates with you or not. Best way to know if it is your past life, when I start talking about the lessons in the present that have carried over from your past life. If you resonate with anything I'm saying in the present, that's probably your card, okay? So anyway, tonight we've got 3 piles as usual. The first pile is this green stone, okay? Second pile is this little butterfly pin. I don't know if you guys can see that. And the third pile, this is like it looks clear on camera, but it's a light mauve stone, okay? So contemplate what pile you want to pick. While you're doing that, I'm going to clear the energy. So just take a deep breath and mind your ears. Okay, and I will see you at your chosen pile. So welcome pile 1. If you chose the green stone, then this is your reading, okay? So we have the Avenger. Desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. The shadow attribute. Resorting to violence in the name of a cause. So when I was meditating on the 3 cards that I would pull this evening, right away I got the sense that this was about war, okay? Especially with this card, the Avenger. The whole 3 cards sort of wraps around some sort of conflict or war or chaos or something. But in this card, in your past life, I can see like a soldier of some sort, someone fighting to balance the scales of justice, trying to do so in a way that uplifted society. I'm not sure what war it was, but this was definitely fighting for a righteous cause, okay? And of course, the shadow attribute, I mean, if you're a soldier, you're fighting in war, of course you're going to end up resorting to violence in the name of a cause. That's what wars are, unfortunately. So my sense is if you chose this pile, you fought in a war, you were a soldier of some sort, male or female, but we'll get a little bit more advice, okay? A little bit more detail on that. So let's just see what we got. Ancestors, spirit guides, angels, and higher beings, please tell me more about this Avenger card. Please tell us more. Oops. As you guys know, I'm a little bit of a clumsy shuffler, so the deal I have with Spirit is that normally I pull the cards just to make life easier for myself and you guys, okay? So here we have the Nine of Cups. So yeah, I mean, you felt like you were, if you were a soldier in your past life, you were on the right side. You really believed that you were doing the right thing. You probably were. You know, you had a sense of vitality. You were very optimistic that you would come out on top, okay? There was a certain amount of joy. You may have been the winner in that war, okay? That's a possibility. Let's see what else we have. Or you were definitely hoping for a successful outcome. But yeah, there was a lot of loss and upheaval, conflict that this war cost. Whatever one it was. I don't know if it's World War II. Not sure. I don't really get time frames from it. I get more of a like situation. Okay, so just take what resonates. But naturally, you know, the first thing that occurs to me is World War II. Caused a tremendous amount of loss and upheaval and conflict. But you know what? All wars do. So, I mean, it could be any given war from the past, right? Not sure. But you felt like you were definitely doing the right thing. Okay. And we have the Mother Star. Now, the Mother Star in this deck is very much about healing and caring, looking after not just yourself, but society as a whole. You know, you may have been fighting for your mother country, or representing your mother country. I don't know. But yeah, we'll get into a bit more detail about this. Actually, I'm just going to look this one up because it's not a standard tarot card in this deck. Let me just see if I can find it quickly. If I can't, I won't bother with it. It's just an interesting. What is happening? Okay, let me see. If I can't find it, forget it. I think it's in, there it is. Okay, so the Mother Star says, the path that has led you to where you are today has been full of twists and turns. There may have been times when you doubted yourself and lost faith in your guides. The Mother Star's appearance means you are coming to a place now where you can look back and see that every setback served a purpose and every failure taught you a much-needed lesson. The strength, courage, and character you've gained along the way have made you into a unique and resilient person. It's time to step up and embody your full potential. The Mother Star holds a cup and a sword. She wears a pentacle around her neck and is flanked by wands. Her journey and soul exploration connect her in a balanced way to each suit of the major arcana. And if she appears in a reading where you have a specific yes or no question, she represents a resounding yes. Her guide, the gentle three-eyed winged tiger, is also here to offer you assistance, vision, and strength as you embark on this new chapter of transformation. So, yeah, I mean, I definitely think I'm right in my assessment with this card. You were a soldier. You felt like you were on the right side of the conflict, okay? And because of that, you know, being a soldier, you were very disciplined in everything that you did. Very discipline-wise. You had a lot of character. You just really believed in what what you were doing and the reasons for doing so. Okay. I get the sense you didn't pass away in the war, because this card represents sort of a lot of wisdom. I think you may have fought in a war and were a veteran at one point. Like you know, you lived to an old age, but you saw a lot, and a lot of your character and who you are was based on your time spent in the military and fighting that war. Okay. But you took a lot of pride in it. Okay. So actually, let's start getting some detail on these cards. Can you tell me more about the Nine of Cups, please? Tell me about the Nine of Cups. What is this Nine of Cups about? Okay. So we got the time. It took a while, you know, for you to bring out a happy outcome. Yeah. It was about growth. You know, it just took some time. This was a long war. This was definitely a long war, and it cleared out. Yeah, it brought about a sense of peace. Okay, so with the what are these called anyway? The hourglass? Yeah. With an hourglass, yeah, like it was, you know, it took a long time for you to get past the upheaval and the chaos and the fighting. You know, you just felt like there was a lot of pressure on you. But it represents aging. And like I said, I don't think you passed away during the war. So you were, you know, you made it out and you were a veteran. And you did find your peace after the war. Okay? When that's what the sage represents. You know, it may have been a lot for you to have to deal with, because like I said, you saw a lot during that time. And it took you a while to purify and heal from all of the things that you saw during the war. And that makes sense with the Mother Star card, right? Because we do have wisdom and healing. So thankfully, you know, you made it through. You made it through fairly with your health intact, with your mental health intact. And I think, as we all know, those who fight in wars sometimes don't get there. They're affected by the darkness of fighting a war. But with you, it made you grow. Okay? You took a risk by joining the war, but fortunately you were able to maintain your health. Okay? Sometimes, I mean, it's a tough decision to enter into the military, I think, anyway, for me. You know, it could be a scary decision. You might be scared of failure, and failure, I think, in the military, it's not, it's the failure would be not making it out, but you did. Okay? You took a risk. You were worried that you were making maybe not the right decision, but you made it through. And it really, your character was developed by what you learned in the military as far as discipline is concerned, and your sense of right and wrong. Okay, so what is this Five of Swords about? Let's see. Yeah, you were looking for, I mean, you really wanted peace and harmony, right? During this time, that's what you were fighting for. You were fighting for peace and harmony. But we have the Hag. The Hag is always like the warning, fears and nightmares. It was a nightmarish time, right? A lot of malicious encounters. You would have just seen a lot of horrible things, okay? may have caused nightmares, maybe even in the present. You may be having nightmares and you're like, I don't know why. You know, it could be connected to your past life experience. Okay. Um, if you have like really strange dreams. So just keep that in mind. Let me know if that resonates below. Okay. Because there was so much upheaval and loss and conflict. You know, you were fighting for peace and harmony. But I mean, like I said, you saw a lot of awful, awful things. Okay. But you maintained, like I said, you maintain your mental health, your physical health, and you were able to find peace and serenity and rejuvenation after this chaotic time. But like I said, you still could be affected by the memories in the form of nightmares, bad dreams. And yeah, let me know if you're having nightmares, if you chose this deck, if you have a lot of nightmares. Because like I said, it could be connected to the things that you saw in the past. Okay. Yeah, we have the octopus, which is, I mean, yeah, that's what wars are, right? I mean, the octopus can represent greed. So somebody, you were fighting against somebody who was very greedy, maybe another dictator or something like that. And you were constantly looking towards the end of this conflict. You just wanted it to end and hoping that all of your efforts would put an end to this conflict, okay? But yeah, there was someone that you, I get the sense with the octopus, like whatever the group was that you were fighting, they were very greedy, probably, you know, taking over a lot of territory, using a lot their intelligence, maybe spies that you had to fight against. Maybe you were a spy. That's interesting. Maybe you were a spy as well, because we have the orb here, and that's about seeing into the future, having sudden insights, glimpses of into the future, searching for answers. So you may, that could have been, if you weren't a soldier, maybe you were a spy, okay, as well, for the government. Because you were faced against such nightmarish situations, right? Trying to avoid them, trying to lessen the conflict and upheaval. Anyway, what is the Mother Star about? Yeah, you were definitely either a soldier or a spy, and you lived to a ripe old age. You know, a lot of wisdom. You've seen a lot. What is the Mother Star about? Okay. So we have the volcano. Yeah, I mean, you had to heal. I mean, you saw so many things, right? Negative things. So you may have had, the things that you saw may have caused a lot of anger, okay? And maybe you had a hot temper too, and you had to heal from that. And it may have taken a while because you would have been affected by, you know, like I said, these nightmares. Maybe in the present life, maybe you've got, you know, a bit of a temper as well. Okay, but it's the pressure of all that you saw from your past life trickling into this life that could be bringing the anger and the emotions up to the surface. Because you have such a strong sense of right and wrong, as I said earlier, that it's possible that in this present life, if you see any kind of injustices, you may be quite triggered by those and quite upset, because you're all about peace and harmony. Okay? But this is what you healed from it, okay? You broke the connection to the past, but you also probably have a strong connection to those that fought alongside with you. And that makes sense for military. I mean, you know, you become brothers and sisters, right? So you have a strong connection or bond, but there's a part of it that you had to break as well. That, like, the bad part, the bad memories, you've had to cut that out, okay, so you could move forward with the boot. And I think you did that successfully. So you were able to remove yourself from the negative memories and move forward, okay? But you were very disciplined. And from that experience, you are probably someone who's very determined, knows how to take action. Maybe you travel a lot. And of course, when you were in the war, you probably had to travel quite a bit, or as a spy, you had to travel quite a bit. So you may actually enjoy that in the present life as well. Okay. So what advice does pile one need for their present life? What lessons from the past does pile one need to focus on in the present, please? What lessons from the past does pile one need to focus on in the present? Okay, so we have our emotions are running high. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we had the volcano card. You may have sometimes, like I said, in the current life, maybe you have issues with just controlling your temper. Just keep in mind, you know, in your past life, you saw a lot of awful things, and it's going to affect you in this life. It's almost impossible to keep something like that from trickling into this life. So just be careful. You know, you are an emotional person. Your emotions do run high, but I naturally have to put it over here by Sage. Just remember to take time out and find the peace that you need, the peace and serenity that you need, whatever it is that you have to do, or whatever brings peace to your soul, okay? Because just remember, sometimes you can be maybe a little hot-headed, okay? And you just got to remember to breathe and don't let your emotions get the best of you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Okay, what else can we have? A win-win outcome is forecast. So, like I said, I think in this life you're very, you know, probably very disciplined. You take action, and anything you do will bring out a win-win situation. Okay, if you keep your emotions in check. So just keep that in mind. Remember from your past life that discipline that you had in order to be a soldier, a spy. Okay, just remember that you need to kind of keep all of that under control. Okay, and you will be able to move forward without much problems. You and your loved ones are safe. So in this life, you might sometimes feel a little anxious about your family. But the universe wants you to know that in this life, you're safe, okay? The trauma that you would have experienced maybe, or the uncertainty from the war that you went through in your past life, might make you feel kind of anxious about the safety of your family in this life. The universe wants you to know you're safe, all is well, okay? You can let this go a little bit and just focus on your healing. Like I said, if you're having nightmares, you know, maybe you have to keep a dream journal or something, or do some meditation or healing work to help you with those nightmares. But just know that you're safe, and this card says nothing will come of this situation. To me, that means, you know, you don't have to worry about this happening in this life, okay? You're safe. You're not going to be in a war. You're not going to have to fight in a war. You're not going to have to just be concerned about your overall safety, okay? So that's it for pile one. Let me know below in the comments if this resonated. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification button. And I'll see you soon. Love you all. Welcome pile two. This is your reading if you chose the little butterfly pin. I actually found this one day. I just thought it was really pretty, so I hung on to it. Okay, so your card is the Child Wounded. Light attributes. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. Opens the learning path of forgiveness. Shadow attributes. Blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds. Resists moving on through forgiveness. So I mentioned in pile one, as I was sort of meditating on the cards that I would pull for this reading, I got this overall sense that the entire reading tonight would be about war. And especially when I pulled this card out, I immediately thought of war child, children who have been forced to fight in wars, escaped wars, just fought personal wars in their surroundings. But I definitely got a sense this is, you experienced turmoil and upheaval in your past life as a child. Now, in the previous reading, it was all about a soldier. This, in your past life, you were young and you experienced the same sort of situation, whether it be, like I said, war. Maybe it was just a war zone in your environment. I immediately thought of the Indigenous children in Canada who were forced into residential homes and never made it back to their families, okay? That's a wounded child. And it's kind of heartbreaking if that was you. But I think if you lived that kind of past in this life, you're very concerned about the welfare of children, you know, and it's something that's really important to you. You may also carry deep down in your soul some childhood wounds, okay, that you haven't dealt with yet. All right, but we'll get some more detail. All right. Ancestors, spirit guides, angels, higher beings, please tell me about this child wounded card. Give us more advice for the collective. You know, and you could have gone through, you know, with this experience that you went through in your past life as a wounded child. As I said, those wounds carry into adulthood. It could have really affected you as an adult in your past life as well. And like I said, those kind of deep wounds, very often they get carried over into the next life until they are dealt with, okay? So I'm getting a sense that, yeah, there's definitely a lot of healing that needs to take place with this card. Now, you may have worked at an orphanage with children in the past, but I think it's, we'll see. We'll see what the detail is. Oh, sorry. I don't take cards that just drop out like that, because usually it's just because I'm a clumsy shuffler. Okay, so we have Page of Swords. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, you were a child. So the Page of Swords is a very young energy, someone who's very curious. You're very, very intelligent, even precocious maybe a little bit. That was your nature as a child. But you had an awful lot. You were just curious, okay? So yeah, I definitely get a sense, yeah, now that you were a child. It's possible that any trauma that you experienced may have affected your ambitions, might have made you a little bit withdrawn, but I don't know. I just see, it could have also made you very strong, right? The Page of Swords is about ambition as well. So, but we'll see. The Hermit. Yeah, you've spent there was a lot of healing in your past life. So I get a sense, yeah, when like I mentioned, you may have suffered some sort of, conflict or upheaval, and it required a lot of healing, okay? Because the shadow attributes, like I said, we talked about the childhood wounds and having to go back and forgive those who hurt you. So with the Hermit energy, you had to go inside and do a lot of inner work, a lot of inner healing in order to move past from that trauma that you experienced as a kid. You could still be dealing with that as well in this life, okay? You could feel that in this life, maybe, either with your family or situations, there's some sort of dysfunction there. You may be dealing with dysfunctional relationships in the present that you need to do some inner work and heal from, okay? So just be conscious of that. Take what resonates. And we have the Knight of Swords. It's caused a lot of tension in your life, right? This childhood trauma. You experienced a lot of highs and lows, a lot of conflict. Okay? Like I said, that required healing. But you were in a very tense environment. There was so much tension and conflict around you. Okay? Let's get some more detail for these cards. Tell me more about the Page of Swords, please. Tell me about the Page of Swords. Again, time. That card came out in the previous reading. Takes time to heal from these things. It took you a lot of time to heal. We have 38, the bell, which is usually some sort of announcement or news, and 88, scarab, which is usually about change. But with the hourglass, yeah, it's, you were very curious, and you were curious throughout your whole entire life, okay? But it may have been in your past, this situation, this turmoil that was around you, the tension may have prevented you from, I don't know, just going out and learning as much as you can. Maybe you felt like life was passing you by, okay, as you aged, and you had this curiosity, but you were prevented from going out and seeing what the world has to offer because you just wanted to learn more. That's what the bell is about. Good news, but it's also about an awakening. You could have gone through, as you got older, realized it was time to put an end. So in your past life, you realized that these childhood wounds, you did your healing work, you realized it was time to put all of that behind you, okay? But it also could represent some kind of event. Either something happened. Yeah, something happened. There was a lot of turmoil in your life, a very traumatic situation, but you were able to put a stop to it, okay? Whatever this event was, you had an awakening. You were able to end it, okay? Because we have the 88 scarab. You were able to, the scarab in Egyptian magic always represents change. So you were able to change your situation and use your sort of childhood curiosity to bring about a new beginning, a rebirth for yourself. So you were able to move yourself out of a very negative situation into a new situation, because it represents renewal and regeneration. Okay? It also represents an eternal cycle. So I think in your past life, you were dealing with generational trauma. You're probably dealing with that in this life as well. Okay? And it's a cycle that's going to take some time, several lives for you to heal from that. It's constant. Let me know below if that resonates. But healing from this generational trauma is something that it just takes time, right? So this is a lesson that you're probably going to, or it's an experience you're probably going to have in every life, unfortunately. But don't forget, each life we become wiser, we move closer. Eventually, you will heal from this. But I think it's a very much a focus of in your present life now, healing from generational trauma. Okay. Tell me about the Hermit. Oh, a lot. Yeah, I mean, we have the Moth. The Moth is about transformation. Oh, there's a lot. Okay. The Bee. You try to, like, you've gone through a transformation, okay? And you know that this transformation is divinely guided with the Chalice. And you really try to keep yourself busy, to keep your mind off of this stuff. But you've gone in, you're doing the work. You did the work, I should say, in your past. You did the work in order to heal and overcome, these wounds. Either it was, the dysfunction within a family, but like I said at the beginning, I had a sense that it was about war, wounded children. But take what resonates, okay? But you transformed and you went in. You might have been very, sometimes we get addicted to our trauma, right? And that's why it takes several lifetimes to get past it, to move past it. All right? And you're working on it. We have the Bee. You're constantly working on it. So this is definitely a lesson that is going to carry through over several lifetimes. But don't let that, make you feel discouraged in any way. It's going to take a lot of work, a lot of inner healing work, as I said, it's represented by the Hermit. You've got a lot of inner work to do. But each life you're going to grow, okay? It just happens to be almost like a project that's just going to take place over several lifetimes. It's divinely guided. That's what the Chalice is, okay? You're meant to reach all of your dreams and aspirations, okay? It's going to require a lot of hard work, but you will achieve them. The Trumpet is this good news coming in, an awakening. But you're getting more and more in tune with yourself and more in tune with this repeated lesson from the universe that you're trying to deal with and sort out, okay? You're very spiritual. So this healing work that you've had to do over many lifetimes has made you a very spiritual person. You may have the ability to communicate with the departed, okay? That's another possibility as well. But you're always aware of the rats being hurt. And that's something that probably carries over into this life, in this life as well. You're probably always worried about who you can trust. you know, worried if there's some traitor in your midst, okay, or just an untrustworthy person, and that's because of your childhood wounds, okay? All right, the trauma or hurt that you suffered as a child in a past life has, and maybe even in this life, has made you very wary, and you have difficulty trusting people. So, Knight of Swords, what is this about? But you're working on it. You're healing, okay? You're definitely on your healing journey. Out comes Sage, which is about peace and clarity, purifying. Yeah, you may not know what the outcome is yet, but despite all your highs and lows, you're just trying to find, in your past life, the peace that you needed in order to create stability in your life. Because as a child, a wounded child, your stability was pulled out from underneath you. So of course, as an adult, you would have been very focused on having a stable home, a peaceful home, and it may have just always been a dream of yours, okay? It could be something in this life that you're very focused on as well, okay? Just having a happy home life, a peaceful home life, okay? And which is why you don't necessarily trust people, okay? You're very wary of any wayward souls, okay? But you could, this experience from the past, you know, as a wounded child could, like I said, seep into this lifetime. And obviously it is, it's something you're still dealing with. So, you know, you may sometimes have a lot of dark emotions and not quite know what to deal with, you know, you may not know what to do about these dark emotions, and you may wonder where they come from. You might even think that even in your past life, maybe this experience made you crazy, or maybe those who wounded you were just crazy, you know. To hurt a child, I think you kind of have to be kind of not all right in your head anyway. But I think, you know, you were, through your efforts to heal, you were able to establish a sense of family and stability. Despite all the highs and lows, you were able to create a safe space for yourself, okay? Or it was definitely a focus of yours in the past, and probably still is, all right? So let's just get some advice from Spirit. What lessons from the past does pile 2 need to focus on in this life? What lessons from the past does pile 2 need to focus on in this life? Be bold and make the first move. So, I already mentioned that in your past life, you were probably, you know, it's the first card next to the Page of Swords, which is about curiosity. This situation that was you were involved in your past life, probably, as I said earlier, sort of held you back a bit. You were really curious about the world. You wanted to experience the world, learn more. In this life, the universe wants you to be bold and make the first move. Okay? You know, tap into that curiosity that of a child, right? Kids just jump into things, you know, sometimes head first. They're very optimistic. They see the good in everything. The universe wants you to kind of bring that into your life. Don't forget about that, you know, that childhood enthusiasm that you have, okay? Because it's that kind of curiosity and enthusiasm to seek answers that will probably help you heal, okay, in this life as well. So just be bold and make the first move. Okay, you're in charge now. A win-win outcome is forecast. This card came up for pile 1 as well. You know, if you make the first move, it's just going to be a win-win situation for everyone involved, okay? So don't let this generational trauma from the past hold you back, okay? Just be bold. It's about your stability, your family, okay? The energy is gaining momentum. So yeah, you're definitely now spending a lot of time in this life. You've done a lot of healing. I think you're quite far along in your healing journey. You can let me know if this resonates, but yeah, you're doing it. You're getting there. The energy is gaining momentum. So this trauma from your past life, as I said, you know, you have to go through several lives in order for this to be done with. You're close, okay? Keep the energy positive because you're definitely moving forward with this particular spiritual lesson, okay? And we have a new start is coming. Yeah, like you're there. It's coming. You've done a lot of work about things that may have happened in your past, childhood wounds, past soul wounds. A new start is coming in this life, okay? So yeah, there's an ascension here, I feel, which is really good news, okay? So that's it, pile 2. Let me know below if this reading resonates. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button. And I'll see you soon. Love you all. Welcome, pile 3. If you chose this clear stone or light mauve stone, I can't tell. It changes in the light. Anyway, this reading is for you. So this card, we have the Femme Fatale. Okay? Now keep in mind, doesn't have to be female, could easily be male. All right? So light attributes. Highlights the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow attributes. Inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money, and power. So I mentioned in the other 2 readings, previous readings, when I meditated on the cards tonight that I was going to pull for past life readings, I got this whole entire sense that this was about war and people who were affected by war in their past lives. Deck number 2, or pile number 2, it came out, or no, I guess it wasn't pile number 1, it came out that the person may have been a spy. So here we have the Femme Fatale card. Femme Fatales were often spies. I don't know if that's it or not. It may just have been you were somebody who is very sensual and beautiful. Maybe you used your physical attributes to open doors. You know, there was a lot of erotic energy. You know, I don't know, maybe you could have been a female in the past life. I'm not sure. But you may have used your sensuality, your feminine ways, in order to have access to money and power. Okay? If you were a spy, it kind of makes sense. I don't know. We'll get more detail, but it's an interesting card anyway. Okay? Tell me more about the Femme Fatale card, please. Okay, so we have the Chariot, which is journey, success, and progress. Yeah, so you were pretty good at this. You know, very beautiful. You know, I think you lived a very lavish life. Maybe, you know, I mean, you may have been used inappropriately because you were very beautiful and sensual. Or you were a bit more in control of what you did, in charge of what you did, okay, and knew how to use, like I said, your feminine ways, your sensuality to become successful. And you were quite good at it, okay? And I think you traveled Many places. You were well-traveled. So let's see. Yeah, we have the High Priestess. I mean, you were smart. You relied on your inner voice, your intuition. But there were also a lot of secrets. And that's interesting because I did say, you could have been a spy, a femme fatale, someone who used her feminine ways, her sensuality in order to gain access and to, secrets, government secrets, power, success. You may have traveled, but you knew how to pull the secrets, get the information, okay, out of powerful people, okay. You were very much, I think, very much in control, and you knew how to use your erotic energy, and you just had access, and you knew a lot. You had access to a lot of different secrets and information, okay. But we have the Tower. So there was some sort of ending, a release, a destruction. I don't know what this is about yet, but there was definitely a Tower moment in your past life. Things may have come crashing down. Maybe you walked away from it. Maybe your access to secrets brought about a certain amount of destruction. I don't know. Let's just get more detail. That's all we can do. All right, so tell me more about the Chariot. That's way too many. Tell me more about the Chariot, please. Okay, just wanted that many anyway. All right, so this is interesting. So yeah, we have Rat. Okay, so yeah, you were definitely, I mean, the epitome of a femme fatale. Okay, you had these rats. You were either dealing with untrustworthy people, or maybe you were that person. I don't know. But we've got, let me see what else we got. Yeah, I mean, I think you were a spy. You were gathering secrets, information from all of these untrustworthy people. Okay? And like I said, you were really good at it. Okay? You were able to be very successful, achieve your dreams, but unfortunately, you were surrounded by a lot of this rat-type energy, these untrustworthy people, but you were in control. You were able to use your feminine power to see your way through, because we have the 74, which is like the magician card. All right, you knew what you had to do to get through these situations. You had all the skills, necessary skills that you needed to find your way through some of these. You had the skills and the intuition that you needed in order to deal with these untrustworthy people, okay? Yeah, I mean, it was, and this was a role that you chose, okay? You chose this. You were really good at it. It was like playing a role, okay? It wasn't really who you were, but you played this role of a femme fatale, okay? So I think, you were well respected with how you dealt with these rat type individuals, okay? Because you knew how to take care of yourself. With the dagger, you were involved in a world where there was a lot of deceit and betrayal, hidden aggressions, but you were able to protect yourself, okay? With the fish, you were able to go as a femme fatale, go through these situations and find good fortune, okay? You may have become, however, pregnant, okay? And became very suspicious. All right? That's another possibility. You may have become, because of these characters and that you were dealing with and the access that you had to these people in powerful situations, and you had access to all these secrets, you may have become a little paranoid as well, and very suspicious of people, despite your good fortune, okay? You didn't know who to trust. And that could be something that you carry over into this life. You may have trouble trusting people, okay? You're always on guard, I should say. The High Priestess. What is the High Priestess about? So we have the stick and the pitchfork. So the stick is always about, you know, you forged your own path. You branched out on your own. You used your own intuition, okay? You may, like I said, you were involved with these powerful individuals. They were untrustworthy, probably a bit abusive. They probably abused their power. And your job or career was to get secrets from them, okay? But you took their power from them. The pitchfork is a tool of the devil, right? And you took that from them. So you were able to use your feminine ways to avoid conflict. All right. You could have also just been, like I said, there's a strong sense that this whole entire reading was about war. So if you were a femme fatale, a spy, female spy, you know, you could have been trying to gain access to secrets. There may have been a rebellion going on, some sort of a rebellion, a violent uprising, some kind of conflict. And it was your job to gain access to powerful individuals who abuse their power and get secrets from them, okay? And you did it on your own. Like I said, you were really, really good at this. Very successful. For a time being, anyway, because we've got this tower. I'm not sure. We'll find out. But like I said, you could have trouble dealing with people in the present. You know, maybe let me know what resonates. You could have people in the present that aren't very trustworthy. But you were all focused on bringing about peace and serenity in your life. You did a lot of multitasking. These people, individuals that you dealt with could have also been very greedy, okay? And you used that against them. The fact that they were greedy, you were able to use that. They could have been, you know, just greedy about women. Maybe they were just, you know, these powerful men sometimes can be dogs, right? And you use that to your advantage, okay? But we have the cat, 22. You were mysterious, and you kept that up, okay? A cat is very mysterious, especially a black cat. But yeah, you used your intuition, okay? You were very independent as well. But this card can also represent misfortune. So, and I say that because the Tower card is up here. So let's just keep that on hold for a minute. I'm not sure. Let's see. Did you run into some problems or not? What is this Tower about? Gift. No, you just decided to end it. I mean, you did it for a while. It was good while it lasted. You know, we have 59, the ribbon, it represents a gift. Yeah, you decided to put an end to this life that you were doing, that you lived, right? And just focus on being happy and happy times, okay? There was, it also represents feminine beauty. So you put an end to what you were doing, with regards to trying to gather secrets from these powerful men, and you just want it to focus on, you know, being happy, being festive, and you just put that all aside. You know, the herbs is about healing. Yeah, that's what you want it to focus on. Okay. Um, it represents something you may have wanted to add to your life or avoid. So yeah, you just want it to change in your past life because you no longer wanted to deal with untrustworthy people. You didn't know exactly where you were headed, but the moon sometimes means wayward souls, and you had enough of dealing with those individuals. Okay, so that could be something, you know, maybe in this life you just don't have much patience for people who prove to be untrustworthy, right? You're focused on the good things in life. Maybe that's what you're focused on right now, and you just don't have time to deal with these individuals who may just want to, I don't know, take advantage of you or something. But yeah, you're no longer interested in your past life. You just didn't want to be involved in that world anymore. Okay, you were finished. You finished it. Okay, so let's see what lessons from the past does pile 3 need to focus on now. What lessons from the past does pile 3 need to focus on now? What lessons from the past does pile 3 need to focus on now? Be bold and make the first move. So this is, again, this card came out earlier too. It's funny. In this life, remember who you were in your past. It takes a really bold and strong person to, you know, move forward in life and to make things happen and reach a certain level of success. You were pretty daring in your past life. So in this life, the universe just wants you to remember that. Be bold. As a femme fatale, you had to be bold, right? So just remember that, okay? You can do that. You don't have to get involved in anything seedy, but just remember, you know, you're confident. Remember your confidence and be bold and make the first move. Hold your vision. Yeah, stay true to who you are. Hold your vision in this life. I mean, I think, you know, as a femme fatale in the past life, you had to be really strong, really determined. You reached a certain level of success. You reached a good place in life. Even though, you know, you had to deal with a lot of probably really gross people, you still held on to your vision. The universe wants you to do that now as well. Hold your vision. If you have, you know, an idea for a career or just any plans for your future, whatever it is, hold your vision, okay? And be bold. Just take those positive things, the characteristics from this past life, and use them in this life, okay? You're in control. A femme fatale was very much in control of her surroundings and everything that she engaged in and did, okay? Your commitment is being tested. Okay, so as a femme fatale in the past, I mean, you know, to get secrets out of people, you know, at a high government level, you know, it required a lot of commitment, right? A commitment to the role that you were playing. The universe wants you to use the same amount of commitment in this life to holding your vision with regards to where you want to be in this life. You know, it took a lot of inner strength to have access to these powerful individuals, to learn about them, to get their secrets. You had to be fully 100% committed to playing that role. So use that in this life, okay? The same level of commitment and determination that it took during your last life. Okay, and one more. Believe in the impossible. Have faith. The universe just wants you to know, have faith. Okay? If you stay strong and true to your vision and have faith, anything is possible. Okay? You just need to believe. All right, pile 3, let me know below if this reading resonates, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button, and I'll see you soon. Love you all.